back, everybody, once again to Biz&Balls. Today we are here for another absolute interview. What a banger of an interview this is gonna be. If you haven't seen the last interview, it was with Ivan. Today with Mr. Legend, which is, well, an absolute legend in the DL community. He provides a lot of value for the people, and is an absolute pleasure to have him on board today. Mr. Legend, if we can start off with a quick presentation about yourself and what have you been doing and how has it been going so far?
Yeah, of course, brother. So, pleasure for everybody. I don't like to reveal my name. I go by Mr. Legend. Hope that's okay. I'm in the e-com business. I've been doing this for a couple of months now. Recently got back into it. I launched my first store. I did about, I think, 12 to 15K on that store. That went pretty great. Now we're testing out. We're moving on to a new product because the product that we were having some issues, some legal issues. So we decided to move out of there before we go deep down the rabbit hole. So now we're moving on to a new product, and it's just, I don't know. I'll let you guys know how it goes in a couple months from now. Maybe I'll be driving around in a brand new supercar. I'm not gonna give out names, but
Hopefully, we'll be cheering you on. How long have you been in e-commerce, if you can tell that?
So I actually started an e-com about 2 years ago. I launched a store. I didn't have any knowledge whatsoever, no mentors, which is the difference from now. I lost about, I would say, $800 on that store. It was a general store, which is something I don't recommend if you guys are getting started in e-com. Do not get started with a general store. Then from there, I thought that, okay, e-com is just not for me, so I decided to quit and go into something else. Then recently, a couple months ago, I got a mentor. He got me back into e-com. Then we kind of put something together. I launched that store, and then that's the store that did about 15K. But then we decided to move out of there. But I recently got back into e-com. It's been about 4 months, I would say.
Okay. And what would you say, starting when you were firstly starting your e-commerce, what would you say was the biggest challenge or obstacle that you had faced when building a store and starting off?
Anything, man, anything. When you're getting started in e-com, it can be really overwhelming when you're looking at all of the templates in Shopify, when you're looking at your theme, when you don't know what product to pick, which is why most people, it makes sense for them to go general, which so they will have more of an option, but in reality, you're just making your life a lot harder. But anything from like putting things together to then after I managed to put things together, I thought, okay, I'm an e-com pro, and then I was getting into paid ads, buying media, and I was like, wait, hold on, I'm in a whole different world here that I have to learn, I have to know. So you have to learn how to read the metrics, you have to learn how to manipulate all of that, you have to learn how to read your data, the data that comes from your ads, as well as the data that comes from your store, in order to know what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong. And one thing I want to tell the people that are getting started with e-com, it's not about luck, it's not about how good you are, it's all in the numbers. You got to learn how to read the numbers, and then the data will tell you if the store and the product itself, it's a good product or a bad product. It has nothing to do with your skill level. Obviously your skill level does come in place at some point, but it all comes down to the numbers.
And what would you say makes a good store or a good product? Is it like being a different type of product, a product that solves a problem, or what would you say makes a good store or a good product?
100% a good store. It's something that doesn't look scammy. So make sure you have in there something that looks very professional, something that the colors match. So you kind of, whenever you're building the store, you kind of want to have a color palette per se. You want to have some trust badges. You want to have multiple things in there that you look at it, and basically you look at the store from an outsider point of view, and you would think to yourself, okay, would I buy from this site, or would I myself go into this site, think this site is like horrible, and I would just not buy from it because it looks scammy? But that goes into when it comes to the store. Now, when it comes to products, like you're mentioning, yes, problem solving does come in place. A wow factor also come in place, and also just something. If a lot of people are selling it and it's making money for a lot of people, then go and do the same thing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, especially if you're just getting started. It's going to be a lot harder for you to bring a new product into the market because you don't know how to market. You don't know the organic approach or the paid approach. You don't know which approach you're taking in the first place. But yeah, definitely a good product, problem solving, wow factor, and a product you want to make sure that's a product that you can potentially scale up to build it into a brand, not a random product that you think is cool because it has a couple lights and that's it.
Okay. And one thing I think many people when starting commerce probably struggle with is something that you probably know very well, which is running ads. And I think a lot of people struggle with running ads. How do they do it? What is an advice you can give to the people listening about ads?
Look at your numbers, 100%. Look at your numbers, study your numbers. Make sure you do your research on what everything means. Because when you running ads, you have things such as a CTR, the CPM, the CPC, you have things as a CTA, a CVR, all of these things from to the outsider, it just looks like letters, you don't know what they mean. So make sure you do your research and always look at your numbers. Even now, I'm not necessarily the most experienced when it comes to ecom, but I'm always looking at my ads. Every 2.5, 3 hours, I'm looking at my ads. I'm constantly looking at my data. I'm constantly looking at how everything is doing and learning how to read the numbers. That's the one main thing that I would tell anybody that's getting started into paid ads. Learn how to read the numbers, learn how to read the data so that you can control it and you can pivot that into their being a profitable store for you or making a decision to switch it to a product.
Okay. Stefan, do you have any question that you would like to ask?
Of course. So just wanted to pick up from where you left on the paid advertising side. I would want to learn more about like what your opinion is on what is a good ad for e-commerce, because I feel like that is very important for the people to know.
Basically, you want to think of this as the basic human. We all have a very short attention span, especially with the social media, all scrolling. So you want something that catches the attention and makes them stop. Most likely something controversial that the second you see, you're like, whoa, what is this? It gets your attention, it makes you stay. So you want most likely a product that has like a wow factor. You want to make sure that you have a good script on your ads so it can catch your attention. You have a good offer on your ads as well. And 100% do not put your offer, start the ad with an offer. Start the ad with something controversial, like for example the trend that's going on now of like, say for example a bull is hitting a guy and then it transitions into like a dealership video or something like that. That trend right now is something that you see and it catches your attention, it makes you stay. So a lot of businesses are using that. So you can do something like that will make the person stay. You want to put in your offer within the first 3 to 5 seconds, not be too pushy with it. Then you let that ad run. You put a little bit, some more of a, I guess in a way, some more script, unless you have a UGC video. With UGC videos, I do recommend a lot. If you can manage to get your hand on those, whenever you're putting script, make sure that your script is persuasive enough to let the audience know what your product does, what's your product, what is the problem that your product is solving, why do they want this product, and then at the end you put another call to action, another CTA, which basically reinforcing your offer. And you want your ads to not be too short, but at the same time don't be too long. My advice to people out there is when you're making an ad, make an ad anywhere from like 13 to 15 seconds long all the way to 30 seconds long, 35 maximum, and that's a push. But anything longer than that, you have to really know what you're doing, and your video has to be really engaging. Otherwise, people are just going to get bored and they're just going to scroll away.
I totally agree with you, because I myself have a paid advertising. So usually this is what it comes down to, attention span. People these days don't have attention span, so about this, maybe a bit more personal, more specific to your case, but what were like the highs and lows of actually building an e-commerce store, and like what can people expect from it?
I see a lot of people getting sold by this fake gurus out there that you can start drop shipping with $100, that you can start drop shipping with no money. It's a lie. It's not real. When you're starting drop shipping, you need anywhere from $500 to $1,000, and this is not the money to have in your account. This is money that is going to be constantly coming in, because if you want to take the organic route, you can take the organic route. I would highly suggest people to take the paid ads route. So you would need money to basically pay for your Shopify plan. If you want to put in any apps, most of the apps, they have a subscription based pay, which also you need to pay for those. You need to pay for your ads. You need to also be able to pay for supplying your product, whatever product it is that you want to supply. If you are running in a low budget and you want to sell high ticket, it's not going to work for you, because you need to supply your product, because you can't sell the product without supplying it. You need to buy the product from your supplier, send it out to your customer. So you do need some type of money to get started, and also some money that's constantly coming in case something goes wrong. Say for example a chargeback, or this is a little bit more advanced once you're making a couple $1,000 on Shopify likes to hold payments sometimes. So if for some reason Shopify decides to hold your payments, or you have a problem with your payment processor where you can't get the profits from your store, and then you don't have any money to run down back on your store, you're pretty much stuck, and your business is just going to go downhill. So the biggest lie is that you can start drop shipping with no money. It's not real.
Alright, sick. And again, another personal question, maybe this inspires more the dropshippers out there. It's like, what does your routine look like? When do you wake up? How much work do you get done?
Oh man, this is intense. I wake up every morning at 3:45. Again, this is my personal thing. You guys don't have to do this. I wake up every morning at 3:45. I either read a book or I watch some type of business related podcast. I make my breakfast, go hit the gym. My gym opens at 5 a.m. I hit the gym until like 7:30, 8 a.m. I come back home, I take a quick shower, eat some more breakfast again, and then I just get started. I just get down to business. I put my phone to the side. I put my phone on do not disturb, so only my emergency contacts can actually reach me. But I keep all of my distractions away, and I just get started. It's either I have to look at my ads, or there's always some type of work to do, and either improving your store, looking at your ads, or I don't know, doing some outreach to get another potential customers. There's always something to do, and I'm pretty much doing that all the way until midday, where I stop to eat some lunch. Whenever I'm done eating lunch, I go back into it, and I'm pretty much working all day long. Whenever I'm not working on my store and I'm doing things like this, like I'm doing with you guys, if not, I'm talking with clients for other type of businesses that I'm doing. But I'm always working. I like to preach this and tell people that success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it. So if you sit around and you're like, okay, how do I get successful? Okay, I'm gonna start chasing down money. You're never gonna get anywhere. Instead, you should find a purpose over pleasure, 100%. I also tell this to anybody. Find a purpose, chase that purpose, and work for something. Don't work for the money. Don't work for the end goal. Work for the actual journey itself. Fall in love with the actual journey itself, and then money will come, success will come, and you're not even going to realize, because you fell in love with the journey and the game, that you're going to be so focused on that you're going to look back at it 4 or 5 months from now, and you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't even realize that I could get to where I am right now.
Love the way you said it, bro, with that the people that actually are too busy to find success or work for success, success comes to them. I really love the way you said it. Obviously, this is inspiring for me. Not only, I wouldn't wake up at 3:45 myself, that's way too early, but for the people out there, just look at this and take an example. Like, this is what people do in order to win. Like, they're so obsessed with the journey rather than the destination that they love doing this. So I congratulate you for that, and people should literally be inspired by your journey and should, wake up
Yeah.
earlier, obviously, but also work more. Because you just said all you do is work. Obviously, you go to the gym and stuff like that. So again, I congratulate you. That's very inspiring. Pedro, if you have any other questions, that's kind of it.
Yeah, I also think you're an absolute inspiration, not only for the people listening, but also for inside of DL. And I want to say, I want to ask to end off, what would you say is the greatest accomplishment that you have achieved over the years that you've been in e-commerce?
Let's just say, I used to smoke a lot of weed. I was a teenager doing really stupid things. I used to smoke a lot of weed. I quit that about a year ago. And in less than a year, I went from literally having $25 in my bank account to now, I don't like to say how much money I have, but I live comfortably. And I've met with some big superstars. I have in my contact list right now is worth over $200 million. Just of a couple contacts that I have in there. I've met with big people like Mike Tyson, Grant Cardone, Mike Chandler, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm talking about big superstars. And all of this has happened within the past, I don't know, 5 to 6 months. I have personal numbers of multi millionaires. 3 of them being my coaches. One of them being a guy that's worth over $200 million. I have 2 mentors in e-commerce. Both of them combined are worth over $150 million as well. I have both of their personal phone numbers. And it's crazy how I went from a teenager in high school smoking weed and playing video games to I pretty much cut all the bullshit out. And in less than a year, I am where I am now. And I can't wait for the future and what the future has for me. And like I said, like I was telling you guys, I'm not really focused on the destination or where I am going to be. I'm mostly just focused on, okay, I'm doing what needs to be done every single day, because yesterday's wins are nothing else but yesterday's wins. They're not today's wins. They don't carry on. Because a lot of people, they win yesterday or they win 2 days ago and they're like, all right, I did something for the week. And it's like, no, you need to keep moving every single day. So I focus on that. Every single day I'm moving 1 or 2 steps forward. And I just can't wait, like a year from now, being in like some crazy place that I would never imagine it was even real.
Yeah, well, I think from us, we just want to congratulate you and wish you the best luck for the future. Stefan, do you have anything to add, or can we just end off? Would you like to add anything?
No, that's kind of it. Really, it really is kind of it, because I don't have any questions, and I just want to say that your journey is really inspiring, not just to me, but I suppose to everyone else. And this just shows off like what happens when you work. So guys, just get to work and do your tasks.
I do want to touch on one thing that you're saying. My schedule, when I say I work, the difference is a lot of people are going to try to do it. They're going to try to work all day. It's not necessarily working all day, but it's being effective with your time. Yeah. Because a lot of people, they say they work, but they work on the wrong thing. A lot of people spend 20 hours working and they're working on 20 different things and they never get anywhere. That's the difference with someone that's super high performing. They only work 2 or 3 hours a day, but they're really effective with their time and they're working. They know exactly what to work on. So that's the difference. Mostly about just putting in the hard work, which you need to. Make sure that you're putting in the hard work on the things that you know you need to be doing, not putting in the hard work on different things and actually not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I think
Yeah, go
that's a
ahead,
nice
Pedro.
way to end off. I think that's a nice way to end off. So we're gonna cut it right here, guys. Don't forget to watch the latest episode. This is a very good one. We just try to bring you the most value as we can. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to our socials. In our Instagram, you have the link to join Digital Launchpad if you want to change your life for good. You have so many options in there. Just go ahead and take a look. From us, it's everything. We'll see you in the next episode. And until then, stay safe, guys.
Take care.